So as I was thinking about an abbreviated message today, I wanted to talk about how we live the daily word for today and be joyful. Rose read the daily word earlier, and it read, "Joy uplifts me as divine light shines from within me." And you wonder sometimes, how can I be joyful when there's a lot going on in the world? But it really doesn't help anything for us to withhold our joy, does it? I shared with you last week that my sole purpose in life, I believe, was to find inner peace. I'm quite sure of that. And I think it's what we're all looking for, really, is inner peace, to find a way to remain at peace no matter what is going on in our family lives, with our health, our wholeness, or the world. And it's hard. It's not an easy thing to do. We all know that. I mentioned last week the challenges that my husband and I have had this year with children's health with Sherry. She's getting better, but she's been quite ill. And I have a sister now that's being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and it's inoperable. And I'm, of course, extremely touched by that. We'll pray for that. We'll go to be with her. She's in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. I'll go to be with her when I can, certainly, and hold her family and mine at this difficult time. She may receive a miracle, and I pray for that too. But more than anything, I just pray for peace of heart and mind for her. So how do we handle these things without looking like we don't care? I think Jesus had to answer that sometimes, because some of his followers, he was a teacher and he had a few followers. And some of them would ask him, well, how can I, and remember, these are stories, they're parables, they're meant maybe not to be taken literally, but a message we can get from it later and use. That's what they're for. That's what they're for. So the one man says, well, how can I leave my ailing father and my family and follow you? And the metaphysical story behind that, and that's how we would interpret symbolically that story, is that then Jesus would say, I'm teaching a higher truth here. And what I'm saying is, leave all of those problems and incurable things of what you learned in your early life. He's not really talking about people there. And follow my teachings. Do what I do. And that's basically what he was saying. Love others. Love one another. Forgive. We live in a very unforgiving world, don't we? And we see that so much. We see so much of it, and we don't want it to hold us back. We want to remember what he said and be a demonstration of that. So what we've been talking about mainly this year is really leading up to this, is that we're not really talking about the old Christmas story here. What we're talking about as we come into the end of this year is something huge that's happening around the world. It's huge. You might see it as people choosing sides. I see it as people evolving into their spiritual selves and becoming their higher selves, is what I see. And what I intend to do when this new year clicks over is there's going to be a new birth for me. There's going to be a new me. is what we're talking about here. And there's a new birth taking place within me, a new life growing and becoming. I anticipate this with joy. I nurture it. I nurture it. You know what it means to nurture something? I hold it. I hold that as sacred. I nurture that with loving thoughts. Surround it with gentleness and grace. Like the shepherds who stood by the manger, I steady my wandering thoughts, bring them back to peace. And like the Magi who honored the divine child, I honor that divine jewel. It can be a ruby or a diamond, whatever you want that to be. Maybe it's an emerald. This becoming, this awakening within me. Like Joseph, I protect this emerging life with clarity, wisdom, and quiet strength. And with the tenderness of the Mother Mary, I cradle this inner birth, holding it, loving it, allowing it to unfold in its own sacred rhythm. I've been thinking so much this week about the times when and even if you haven't had a child in your body, if you have, you're going to know what I'm talking about here, okay? You may not have held a child in your body, but that's what I want you to do right now, is imagine with me that you are cradling this new birth within you. You can even imagine a new heartbeat. Now, unlike when I was pregnant, many decades ago now, they didn't tell you things you should have known, but I knew it instinctively. I couldn't stand the smell of cigarette smoke when I was pregnant, so I automatically went someplace else. They didn't tell you that, though. They were still telling you cigarettes were good for you. They didn't necessarily tell women not to drink. That wasn't a thing I would have considered. It wouldn't have stayed down anyway. Our bodies tell us so much more than we are aware of. We've just been tuning it out. Someone with stomach issues, I can tell you, you've probably been saying for eons of time, that gives me a knot in my stomach. Well, yeah, it literally does. So anyway, where I was going with that, I'm getting sidetracked again. Y'all don't let me do that. Hold this new birth, this new you, gently, lovingly, in your heart, just the way you would if you had a new babe growing in your body. Nurture it, love it, give it love. Don't be around things that are not good for you. We now know that women that were in a tremendous amount of stress while they were pregnant, it shows up with the baby. It shows up. Nurture that baby within you the same way. So as I was thinking of this, and I wrote this week, I was thinking of that. Cradle this inner birth, holding it, allowing it to unfold. And this new life within me is a unique expression of God on earth, a living story of love becoming form, spirit becoming embodied. I nurture it, I trust it, I share it. I rejoice in the holy birth that's taking place within me now. This is my story. And I am providing the entire manger scene right here within my aura, my story. And I'm bursting forth with new life, a new me, Now, you don't have just until Christmas to do that. You have 9 more days this year. 10 more days? Yeah, 31st. Okay. I'm going to be checking in with you next Sunday to see how you're doing. Am I loving? Am I gentle? Am I kind? See how you do with that this week. Don't judge others. Blessed are the kind-hearted.